Before Occupy Wall Street happened, I was inspired by what was going on in Egypt, and thought, wow, that needs to happen here. The people need to rise up and say, hey, listen to us. These are our demands. We need to change. This is what we want. And then when it happened in New York, before it even happened, I had heard that it was going to. And then I thought, wow, I really hope this takes off. And when it did, I thought, I need to make this take off in the Lehigh Valley. Gather support and let's get people out in the streets.
One could say that throughout the history of civilization, there were always the rich and there were always the poor. However, what is happening right now is unprecedented. The amount of resources and money available to the 1% is totally out of line. And what's even worse, it's getting worse. That's the other part. It's not that there's some kind of a limit reached. No, I think it's boundless.
I'm here because I feel strongly about practicing democratic behavior and
It's kind of sad to say that
taking advantage of the privileges we have, which is one of them.
A lot of the local residents were coming up to us and they thought we were protesting the arena that's being put in here. And the city's using eminent domain to knock down this whole block here in both directions and the Wells Fargo building across the street. And this is before a lot of the mainstream media was really covering it. I mean, the only thing that I had seen up until that point was about the 700 people being arrested on the Brooklyn Bridge. And so people in this area had no idea what was going on, for the most part. And so they thought we were protesting the eminent domain in the hockey arena. And that sort of has become our local cause, a local example of political corruption. And we had been camping now, for like 3 or 4 nights. Police knew what we were doing. We asked for the police, would it be okay if we're camped out overnight, or you're going to arrest us as vagrants or whatever else? And the officer said, I'm not sure. He called downtown, got a half hour later, he got back to us. No, you're fine, you can stay here. And so, sweet, let's get tents. After week 1, we had so much coverage from the local newspaper and the local TV station that by the end of week 1, people in Lehigh Valley knew. Whether they were arguing with us in the street corner or out their car windows or giving us peace signs and thumbs up, they definitely knew why we were here. Allentown's been going downhill for about 20 years, but in the last 4 years it's definitely taken a further downward spiral. There's no real industry here anymore, and that's hurt the city and the whole Lehigh Valley. A lot of people in the Occupy Allentown movement do have college degrees, 2-year and 4-year, and they can't get a job with a decent wage, where they can fully support themselves and kids. It wasn't that long ago that, mom or dad could go to work and provide food for the whole family, pay the college tuition, pay the car, pay the mortgage. Now you have a lot of people in Allentown. You'll have 4 or 5 people in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment all chipping in, just to pay the utilities and the rent and the food and scraping by.
A lot of people have been losing their jobs. A lot of people have been losing their apartments because everything keeps going up. The food goes up, the healthcare goes up. Everything keeps going up. The paycheck doesn't seem to be going up. It seems to be staying the same.
I hope on a local level the occupations can make a change as far as strengthening communities. I believe that there are a lot of things we can do on a local level to better our lives and work on the problems that we have. On a national or even international level, I hope we achieve to get money out of politics and get our governments to look after us. Remove all the greed and corruption in our politics. And I think it's people realizing that's going on and all that frustration building up, CEOs making record profits and stealing from the American people, having no accountability for their actions. I think that's what has really gotten people out into the streets, and saying to the government, how dare you let this go on? How dare you not fight for us? I have no doubts we'll make it through the winter. And the people who are here all the time are very, very dedicated, and we'll be out as long as people are fighting for the Occupy movement.